Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Friday, October 23rd, 2020, and today we're taking a look at the final presidential debate and discussing the impact or the lack thereof on the presidential race. The final presidential debate came up the same way we probably expected it to. Donald Trump came across as calmer and more collected from the first debate, and Joe Biden just really hammered in on the point that he would be the better president for COVID-19 and a couple of other issues. All in all, this debate ended with a Joe Biden victory, according to not only CNN. I know some of you guys may not be too trusting in CNN, but it was the first website with the article up. But they gave Joe Biden the victory with 53% of voters saying Biden won, 39% said Donald Trump. Outside of Twitter, not a single scientific poll had Donald Trump winning the final debate. However, in terms of undecided voters, Trump did better on some news stations. Biden did much better on CNN specifically. They polled, I believe, 11 undecided voters in the state of North Carolina, 9 of which said Joe Biden won the debate, 2 of which said it was a tie, 0, of course, said that Donald Trump won. So depending on where you were looking, you probably saw different results. But all in all the scientific polls suggest that Joe Biden won the final debate. Surprisingly enough, this is one of the largest debate victories over an incumbent president or even an opposition candidate. Biden's margin over Trump, according to CNN, is 1 point larger than Clinton's win 4 years ago, but also the second largest victory over a debate in a debate, with the only other debate superseding this, Barack Obama's in 2008, with 58% of voters saying he won to 31% saying John McCain had won that debate. So this debate roughly changed nothing. We actually have data not only about who won the debate, which we just covered, but also about how likely people are to vote for each candidate and how likely they think each candidate is going to win. In terms of how likely they thought each candidate was going to win, both candidates saw an increase. It was marginal, it was by 0.1. This is an average of people saying from 0 to 10 how certain or how likely are you to vote for a certain candidate. Likely to vote, Joe Biden went down very narrowly. Again, 0.1. Donald Trump remained the same. So no real takeaways there, no significant shifts whatsoever, marginal within a statistical error. Moving on to the next point, Biden got higher marks for his performance and his policies. This is how respondents rated each candidate's debate performance and their answers on policies. For Donald Trump, 51.8% say that his performance was good. 68.7% of these same respondents say that Joe Biden's performance was good. In terms of policies, Donald Trump received 43.8% of viewers saying that his policies were good. 60.2% said that his policies, Joe Biden's policies, were good. So Joe Biden being the clear favorite in terms of policies and performance, but Donald Trump is in the positive for the first time, at least. We've only had 2 debates, but he was not in the positive for his performance previously. So obviously an increase for Donald Trump, but you can't deny that Biden did very well, according to these numbers. The next are how enthusiastic candidates are, not enthusiastic candidates are how enthusiastic voters are for voting for their candidates. Now, how likely are voters to vote? Well, based off of the how likely are you to vote, 86% of Trump supporters say they are absolutely certainly going to vote for Donald Trump. Very likely, 7%. 6% say not too likely, and 1% say not likely at all. These are respondents, how they would vote in a 2020 presidential election, how excited they are to vote. 46% with Donald Trump say that they are very excited. 21% say somewhat excited. So together, that's a combined 67%, 2 in 3 of the Trump supporters, according to this poll, say that they are very excited or somewhat excited, and the remaining 33% say they are either not too excited, which is 23%, and 10% say they are not excited at all. We see roughly similar numbers with Joe Biden. 89% of his supporters are absolutely certain they are going to vote for him. 6% are very likely, 3% are not too likely, 1% are not likely at all. How excited they are to vote: 48% say that they are very excited to vote. 24% say they are somewhat excited to vote. 18% say not too excited to vote. And then 10% say not at all excited. Combined, I believe this puts Joe Biden at 72% in terms of excited, which is almost at 3 out of 4, but still 28% say that they are not too excited or not at all excited. And the popularity contest, this is really what has very little impact on the race, but where Trump really needed to increase in terms of the way that he's viewed by Americans. Before the debate, 61% had an favorable view of President Trump. 60% say the same now, a 1% decrease. So in return, Donald Trump's favorability rating increased 2% following the debate. Joe Biden's favorability rating increased 2% as well, and his actual unfavorability rating went down 1%. So roughly the same exact numbers on the popularity contest, roughly the same exact numbers on the excitability rating, and then also in terms of support for Biden and Trump. Nothing has fundamentally changed about this race following the first debate. And honestly, I don't really see why we expected anything different. Joe Biden remains at an 87% chance of victory following the final debate. Donald Trump remains at 13%. In terms of the Electoral College, Joe Biden maintains a very strong lead. Take a look at where he is in a number of states. I mean, we were talking about, could Joe Biden's performance last night hurt his chances in the Rust Belt? Well, 538 certainly doesn't seem to think so. The only real area where we're seeing shifts actually is the forecast. Unpredicted or, Betfair, wherever you're looking, a number of markets say, Joe Biden's numbers will likely diminish, but there's no data suggesting that. Now, obviously, it's very early, but at the same time, if he had said a comment that was so drastic that it would have shifted a state overnight, we would have seen that reflected on a 538 average, because expert ratings do go into this pretty heavily. So according to the forecast, Joe Biden has an 87% chance at Pennsylvania, which has roughly changed 0. In Michigan, it's a 92% chance for Joe Biden. And in Wisconsin, it's an 86% chance for Joe Biden. So obviously very strong numbers here, but it's not just here. In Arizona, Biden has a 67% chance of victory. In Florida, a 70% chance of victory. And in North Carolina, a 67% chance of victory. So Joe Biden, the clear favorite to win the presidency at this point. He's actually the favorite in the state of Georgia as well, which is an additional 16 electoral votes. He's competitive in Texas. He's competitive in Iowa. He's competitive in Ohio. So all in all, I mean, Joe Biden is doing very well across this nation, and that debate won't change that. And the reason why it's important that this debate hasn't changed much is because that means that Joe Biden remains such a large favorite amongst the American people. I mean, the fact that we've seen Joe Biden lead by double digits even today, 11 days before the election. He's been leading by double digits for almost 10 days now. I mean, actually larger than 10 days. All Joe Biden has to do is keep that up. 50 million Americans have voted today. 52 million Americans have voted as of today early. There are 11 days until the election. Certain states have voting deadlines. If you can vote early, you should vote early. If you can vote in person, you should vote in person. Just make sure you get out to vote. But the important thing is we are on track to hit record turnout. We are on track to see very large numbers for both candidates, which is very good for American democracy, which means a lot of Americans are turning out to vote. We are hitting, roughly 2018 party numbers for the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in terms of midterm votes. I believe in 2018, the Republican Party received 50 million votes. 52 million American voters have already submitted their ballots. That is very significant. And with 52 million Americans already voted, when Biden has already maintained a double-digit lead nationwide, there's no way that I could spin that into being a positive for Trump. But Biden being at 87% and Trump being at 13%, with that final debate being lackluster for both candidates, I mean, yes, Joe Biden did well. Yes, Donald Trump did better than before. I do think that Joe Biden did come out the favorite at the debate following the near end of the debate, but Donald Trump obviously came with a game that we didn't expect him to see, to play. I mean, he came back with 2016 reminiscent energy within the final 2 weeks of the campaign season, because he knew that the first debate was not doing anything good for him. Following the first debate, Biden's numbers went up to being double digits. Well, this was supposed to be Donald Trump's Hail Mary, and he didn't get it. He wasn't able to do what we all thought could have been possible, and it very well could have happened. But unfortunately for Donald Trump, while he was not interrupting the moderator and while he rarely ever interjected in Joe Biden, no more than Biden did to him, it ended up being a debate that seemed normal. And when a debate seems normal, and while Donald Trump may have done better, he didn't turn around this race. Certain things Biden said he could have phrased differently. Certain things Trump said he could have phrased differently. But at the end of the day, this debate changed fundamentally nothing. And I know it seems weird to make a video about that, but that was the main story. This is the best news that Joe Biden could have gotten. because this is not a debate. Debates are not where Biden is super strong. It's in front of a teleprompter. It's when he's speaking directly to the American people, when it's not within a point where, they could throw in a gotcha question. But this debate being lackluster and no real memorable moments, Joe Biden comes out the favorite because he's already ahead by double digits, with nothing to further impact that, with nothing to hinder him, with an 87% chance of winning the election 11 days till November 3rd. I mean, Joe Biden is probably celebrating because all he needed to do was show up and fend himself off, and that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly why Joe Biden remains the very clear favorite to win the presidency, and that probably won't change in these next 11 days. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already, and check out the Instagram and Twitter. At the bottom left of the screen, there's also a Discord link for you to go ahead and join. On the screen, there's a video you can watch, and then a playlist for my 2020 election predictions. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.